prophet, and many believe that he should be the leader of the community. Anyway, so but he was very, very, very horrible at decision making, and his name was Ali ibn Abi Talib, but let's call him Ali. And he would make poetry with his sword in your stomach in the battlefield, but in politics he couldn't make a decision because he thought he would go to hell, burn in hell. Any mistake, any smallest epsilon null, he would burn forever, eternity in hell, torture. So every morning he would wake up, put his face in the burning oven to get a taste, to simulate hell for himself, to get an idea. And he would pick an ant off his trousers and bring him back to his colony. Anyway, and I wonder how could this guy who would suddenly in the war, and he would kill everybody, and he was invincible. Anyway, people loved him afterward because of his victories and braveries and blah blah, and also at the same time at his sanity or sanity, let's call it. They put him in the political position which he screwed up completely. He brought the house down. His enemies got powerful and destroyed everything because he couldn't take a damn decision. But that's a very different kind of decision making that I would like to connect to this guy, because he was somewhere between. He became somewhere between a soldier and a saint, and which is they don't pass really, but somehow he got famous for it, and people really, really seriously start to loving him for a very, very long time. Anyway, but I would like to say that what made for him impossible to make or decide between any of his actions, and what was in front of him that was for him paralyzing in a sense. But I'd like to different that from something that is undecidable for itself, and someone who cannot decide or is indecisive. So I think that to present you with that, I can just simulate for you. I have two kids, and one of them is a normal vitamin C, and the other one is acid. But this is but a choice, because my hands are already connected to my shoulder and I can change them, and you have already decided which one you want. You have already taken your position. You're going to take the vitamin or the LSD, the acid. But I would like to present another kind. I would take one of them and put them in one of these cups and do the oldest trick ever. Okay, what's here? Okay. Okay. Anyway, it's here. It's here. Okay. My point is that by that I am paralyzing for you what is the play. The signifiers are playing for you, so it becomes paralyzing. So and you cannot choose between. Is it the kind of problem that Ali was facing? I don't think so, or maybe. But what is interesting here, that is this in this play at the end you have to choose. I have presented for you a complete definitive situation which has it is defined already, the kind of choice making that they're going to make. But what is interesting that they are different and there's a space between them. So if there was no space between them, there would be one, and there would be no decision or undecidability. So exactly because of this in-betweenness between these two choices, that there is the possibility of decision making or the impossibility of making one. So the right answer might be in between them, or you can throw me out of playing this game, say we don't want to choose, and kick me out. So I think in the middle of this undecidability between these two choices, it's exactly the condition that makes possible to make any kind of decisions. And it's very interesting when you make a decision and action at the same time. So there is no differing between them. So when they're at the same time, we call it spontaneity. And it's quite interesting that it is possible because of indecidability and this situation. I think it's very cool to make a spontaneous absolute. Your receiving, acting, and decision happens simultaneously at the same time. Would you do your project? Yes. You have already done it. You won't even hesitate. There is no hesitation like the ally did, and or like him in the battlefield maybe. But it would work like a machine. No hesitation to put the knife. And I think it's very, very, very cool that we can be actually spontaneous, but it can be also horrible and then dangerous, because if people who are like each other act spontaneously, it's criminal. But at the same time, if people who are different and they interact locally in a small space like this spontaneously, that's community. And that's how the cities come to being. And yeah, I think it's. But it doesn't mean that if we design something, can't have a social character. I mean, is it possible to? Okay, any kind of design is against spontaneity because it has to wait. And so I'm asking, is it possible to design anything that has this social character? Maybe. Okay, I'd love to say yes, but we shall see that in the future, or we can talk about it. And yeah, and still people started to worship Ali so seriously, and write about him, and poetry and everything, and build a religion out of it. And it's still living today. And I'm coming from this tribe that they worship Ali. And I think that was interesting how was his position was also impossible in the beginning, and how the people who follow him are spontaneous sometimes, and the people who need to be spontaneous, sometimes they are in the infinite space of undecidability, which is quite also interesting. Okay, thank you again for listening, and yeah.
I didn't get it.
Takes the acid.
I got the vitamin C.